Spooky Friday show. Ho! Spooky show about spooky ghosts. Is my beauty 14? I would say a mare version of Lassie is 14.
Yeah.
What's that? Somebody's fallen down in the well and you've got to jump these hurdles. Come on, Black Beauty, let's do it.
What's that? Billy's fell down the well. Where is he? Where is he?
What's that? Somebody's stolen your supply of ivermectin?
Apparently we're not live on the Rumbles, so I'll have to have a bit of a play.
Oh, we're not live? God damn it.
Oh, I like Rumble. That's where the Richie show is, with the cop blocks and stuff.
End live stream.
Just imagine if we're on Rumble only, we could talk like we do normally instead of having to, pretend that Susan's there, like, standing over you.
Schnauzer.
I can't stand it when people say that.
We could talk about how much we love Israel over on Rumble.
Yeah. What, we all do.
Oh, what was someone did a suicide unalive?
Are we not allowed to say we love Israel? Is that bad now?
No, you have to go on Rumble to say how much you love Israel.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
I'm just setting up the stream on Rumble. Because you can't. Apparently, you can't do Rumble streams the day before. There's that.
That would require preparation.
Well, you can't prepare, can you? Because they literally go. It's like. Right, let's try now. Hopefully that works. Anyway, we should be live on the Rumbles now. We are live.
Cool.
We are now live on the Rumbles. We're live everywhere. Welcome to another 14 words. Anyway, we should be live on the Rumbles.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're live. Don't say fucking bugger.
We are now live.
Don't say fuck or bugger.
Welcome to.
Well, it's been 5 seconds, Hobbit. You can say it now.
Spoopy. Oh no!
Oh, fucking bugger.
Started some sort of loop now.
We're live. Don't say fucking bugger.
Oh no!
It's alright. I've stopped it. I've stopped it. It was a bit of a loop just then.
But
some of our autistic viewers will just be reading about that.
I took that personally. I took that really personally.
Did you listen? Last week's, I really can't explain how it happened, but last week's on the Rumble stream, for some reason, there's one of me and two of you two.
What? Oh no! Oh god!
dear.
It sounds awful. So it's me talking normally, and then there's two each of you two. I think I've cured it now anyway. So.
Oh dear. Oh god. Oh,
right, so what's 3i? Are we going to 3i Atlas lose Hobbit?
Yeah, it's moved under its own Steam again.
Ah. So it's out. Is it still Beyond the Sun, or is it out from Beyond the Sun?
I don't know. I sort of haven't really been watching it recently.
Okay, you were the only
all this space stuff is just for
yeah.
The bread and circuses of the age,
Well, if the aliens are going to come, it's about time.
We've proved on many occasions how trusty NASA is.
NASA.
So what you like about NASA, but they certainly know how to convey stuff to the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you rather?
Whenever I'm thinking of a trustworthy
what would you rather,
resource,
EastEnders or the biggest, most historic event ever in mankind's history, landing on the moon? What is who
exactly
would win in a fight, EastEnders or the moon landing?
Oh, speaking of which,
come on, now, we know the answer to that already. It was fucking
exactly.
EastEnders.
It's EastEnders, yeah.
Speaking of which, and I haven't heard anything about this until today. There's a manned mission to the moon that's going to land there next month. Have you heard about this?
Bullshit. Like, all these moon missions, they get cancelled at the last bloody minute and then.
Hey, Elon's going to Mars.
Okay.
Elon's going to Mars next month. What are you talking about?
Hang on, let me just see. Manned moon.
Is it the Japanese? Because they're also like hilarious.
Well, I don't know. I just saw a picture and it said, "Oh, look, we're going to do it." Okay. So Artemis 3, and it's by NASA. It's scheduled for launch no earlier than February the 5th, 2026. Right. So a couple of weeks from now, NASA's going to launch Artemis 3, and it's a manned lunar mission. Are they going to land? What are they going to do? It's on a 10-day flyby of the moon using Orion spacecraft and Space Launch System Block 1 rocket. It'll be the first crewed mission in the vicinity of the moon since 1972 with Apollo 17, and it'll test critical systems such as life support, navigation, and re-entry capabilities. So, all right, Artemis 3 is going to do a moon flyby for 10 days, and that sounds interesting. I wish them all the best, and I'm sure it will be, an interesting challenge now that Stephen. I can't remember the name of that.
Why can't they just land on the moon like they did in 1969?
Well, I can't remember the name of the director, and I want to call him Stephen Hendry, but
why
he's not alive
why are we testing life support systems for things that are 50 years old?
They managed to land on the moon perfectly well before. Something made out of Hoover poles and tinfoil.
Right. So here's conspiracy theory for you. It was actually Stephen Hendry that faked the moon landings.
Oh, was it?
Stephen Hendry.
Because I can't remember the name of that director that did
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, Stephen Hendry, Stanley Kubrick. I mean, you can see it's easy to get those two names mixed up.
Well, Stephen Hendry was a very, very talented young man, wasn't he?
Yeah. There was Stephen Hendry.
What with him being good at the snookers at such a young age?
But basically, like, the head of NASA went to him and says, "Look, we got to do this moon landing." And Stephen Hendry's like, "What are you asking me for? I'm just a snooker player." It's like, "Yeah, we're going to get you to fake the moon landing." It's like, "What are you talking about faking the moon landing? Those rockets are real."
Did they do a ribbon? That planet is off the table and into somebody's mind. What are you talking about?
They're saying to him, that's it. Like you channel that, Stephen Hendry. Whenever anybody asks you about the moon landing, you just say, "What you talk about? The rockets are real. It really happened." Why would they go to all this effort, like scamming it, just to then get me, a professional snooker player, to try and make a fake moon landing? I don't even know the first thing about special effects.
If it's not fake, this is what I ask about all conspiracy theories. If it's not fake, then why do they go through so much trouble to make it look fake? What do they do?
Well, look, didn't you see the pile of shoes on the moon? That obviously that meant we were there.
No, the pile of shoes got dumped there the other year, didn't they? When from the people from a certain country dropped tardigrades all over the place.
There's a pile of shoe prints over there, and that was the other thing.
Is there a cloaks on the moon? Tell me.
I'm in two minds about the moon landing. On the one hand, I want to believe. I will say that I want to believe, but on the other hand, there's things which I find really annoying about it. They haven't addressed the issue of radiation shielding. So I'll be curious to see.
You don't need radiation shielding. Radiation's like rain. If you run through it really quickly, you're fine.
You don't get wet. Yeah. That's how radiation works, right?
I'm going to play devil.
I bet every single person who's ever said that to me to run through Chernobyl really quickly and see if they don't get radiation.
Right, okay, I'm glad you bring up Chernobyl because I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right? Yeah. Now, in the Chernobyl MPP, there's a section of it, and I'm told when the observers are there, they're told if you run for it, you'll minimise your exposure to that radiation hotspot. And there are other places which you just cannot go into because it's too poisonous. So where the core melted through, it's called the elephant's foot. and it's so radioactive that you can't be in the same corridor as it because there's too much, like, I assume what.
Do you know why an elephant's got 4 feet?
So
because he looks silly with 6 inches.
Right? Oh, I see. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, do you know what there's difference between a chickpea and a ballotti bean is?
No.
I've never had a ballotti bean pee on me.
So, Dad, stop, please. It hurts.
So with the elephant,
no.
the
Dad,
elephant,
stop hitting me.
You can't be in the same vicinity as it because you'll just die. It's that radioactive. And they tried to send a robot up to it, but then the robot died because it's too radioactive. So
speaking of which, Fraser, you had a paranormal event this week, didn't you?
What they did, right?
Wait, what? Did I?
Your dad texted you, told you you got a new number, didn't he?
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah. No. Please. Yeah. Who this new number? It's your dad. Yeah. It's like, damn.
They were determined to get samples from this elephant's foot. And they were like, okay, so we can't send the robot up to it. And they eventually managed to get like a remote control drill. And instead of using radios, they used like wires. And then they were like, okay, we can't drill it. So what they did is they got the same remote controlled robot. And instead of putting a drill on it, they gave it a Kalashnikov. And they just unloaded like a whole magazine of bullets into it. And sparks were going off. And the idea of like, hey, here's this incredibly radioactive substance where like we can't even be in the same corridor as it. We have to do everything using a mirror. And like the guys back in the Moscow Institute of Studying Really Poisonous Stuff want to get a sample. Shall we just shoot it with a machine gun? Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I mean, there won't be any problems with this. This definitely won't cause any radioactive dust to appear in the air.
And
God forbid.
Have they been watching reruns of the A-Team or something?
That was the thing.
Good old Russian science. When everyone else fails, just shoot it.
Yeah.
Well, but this is the thing, right? I'm just saying to play devil's advocate, like when they say, look, if it's a radioactive bit of the Van Allen belt, just run through it, and you'll minimise your exposure to radiation. You know, just run through this like vast thing.
To be fair, I actually doubt that Russians really care about the sanctity of human life. So I wouldn't be surprised if they would just lie to the scientists.
I mean, yeah. The problem is that the Chernobyl gave it was a really big boon to the We Hate Nuclear crowd, and it has communism has held us back countless centuries because we just people go, I don't like nuclear reactors because what about Chernobyl? It's just like. So your problem isn't really nuclear reactors because the United States Navy and the Royal Navy have plenty of nuclear reactors at sea, which they're not got all the shielding that these reactors have got. Your problem is communist incompetence and arrogance. That's your main problem. Your problem is you're worried about people that don't value the sanctity of human life and don't have safeguards in place. Oh, and that's the other thing that really fucks me. Can I just whilst I'm on the subject, right? I'm all fucked off of these leftists saying, oh, capitalism is so anti-human and evil. It'd be so much nicer in Soviet Russia, where they really care about the sanctity of life in the gulag.
Well, I've told you my theory about this. Like they all believe they'll be in the party. That's the reason they push for it because they don't think they'll be anywhere else but in the party. And as history has told us with communists, the people who push for it usually end up in the salt mine, if they're still alive. That is.
You may argue for capitalism, but it's capitalism which destroys the environment. Unlike Soviet Russia with the Aral Sea, the Soviet Russia was just so good with the environment. I mean, the Aral Sea was a beautiful region, and then they basically just said, yeah, what if we use this to irrigate cotton fields to the point where it's now so they sucked up so much water from the. Well, it's now the Aral toxic swamp.
Oh, well, no, even better.
It's
trying to say
that
the radiation belts are not as deadly now. Have they retconned that? Have they retconned the law in the ban on belts now?
the Soviet, through their mismanagement of it, it created a feedback loop where, because that lake's not there, there's not the wet microclimate around to keep the area wet. So the Aral Sea will not come back unless they do like some sort of, well, I don't know what sort of vast terraform you do to re-wet an area, but the Russians aren't going to do it.
Move huge amounts of water from one place to another, wouldn't they? That's the only thing they can do, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and they're not going to do that. So just. But anyway, that's not really. Well, I suppose if we are talking about environmental disasters, this does segue into tonight's episode, doesn't it? So we're going to talk about dragons, aren't we?
Yeah. Hobbit, can you turn your VPN off?
Yeah.
Because for me, you disappear every now and again.
It keeps cutting out. Yeah, same. I was just about to say that. You disappear for like...
Because I think you turned your VPN off last time and it was a lot better, weren't it?
Oh, well. I wouldn't know anything about...
Stop hiding in Nigeria. Yeah, fucking...
I wouldn't know anything about VPN, Sir.
Come back to Soviet Britain, I
think they're pointless now because they're all so oversubscribed that you can't get on anymore, can you? They're all running out of service.
I wouldn't know anything about VPN, Sir Keir Starmer. I refute these calumnies.
Or Tor browsing or anything like that.
I wouldn't know anything about that. All hail the Soviet Socialist Republic of United Kingdom.
Alphabet Cat says, but it's just like a couple of chest X-rays, the Van Allen radiation belt.
Yeah,
everyone's trying to figure out what the actual subject of today's show is.
Yeah, right. Oh, are you
Fraser's going to do that in a second.
I'm going to do it, am I? Okay. All right. Well. I'll wait.
Because the other thing it does when you're not on your VPN.
Fraser, I don't know what you're talking about. What is a VPN? I don't know what you're talking about. I disavow this.
Well, the other thing it does, Hobbit, is it stores up about a sentence worth of what you've been saying, and then it shoves it all through the internet at once. I don't know what it does.
That could just be. You know what that probably is? It's probably Russian.
Like leaving us in suspense every 30 seconds and what you.
It's probably Russian bots, and they're interfering with communications
Indian
because
bots. We're right wing, so it's Indian bots, isn't it? That's what Nigel Farage said.
The Russian bots, they hate us for our freedoms, and that's what they do. So. Look, I'll be right back. I'm going to restart the computer.
Yeah.
All right.
If in doubt, restart.
All right then. I guess we'll start with that.
Let's.
So we can get at least 5 minutes without talking about dragons. So here we go.
Well, it's just the chat's just full of dragons. So chat's full of hot dragon talk in there.
Oh dear.
I've just realised what the connotation for hot dragon is. It's your dragon dildo.
Yeah, you've been on baddragon.com.
Yeah.
Is that tonight's sponsor of tonight's episode?
Oh, God, I hope not. I don't want to be doing a read through of that. I dread to think what the read through is.
Oh. Right, we get Hobbit to read out and see if we get sponsored by them. Yeah. Right, tonight's episode, ladies and gentlemen, from the deepest, darkest pit of well, no, actually it's not a pit, but we're going to talk about the Great Fire narrative of ye old times.
Yeah.
I'm a huge enjoyer of the historical narrative. So we say faux pas.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the fires that probably I think most people may have heard about a few, but it would seem that it's that special century everyone likes to refer to as the 19th century or the 1800s. there were many a great fire all over the world.
It goes back to the 17th century as well, though, doesn't it? Because the Great Fire of London was.
It goes back longer, but it's yes, but what's the most interesting thing is that when we're talking about the Great Fires, this is mostly, well, there were in Europe as well as all over the world, but it's the American ones that are interesting because of the official history, right? And how truncated it would have to be, because obviously this is what the Great Fire, the narrative is that there were okay, so from where I'm coming from, the history has been obviously falsified. It's not what they tell us. I've done many episodes on the Romanesque kind of buildings, the Tartarian stuff, as people like to coin it. It's not Tartarian, whether it's the Millennial Reign or whatever, doesn't matter for this thing. But it is to do with the destruction by certain groups, certain secret societies, it would seem, and the destruction of basically of history to, should we say, remove kind of to fit our current political narrative. The Scaligerian kind of chronology, should we say. And the Great Fires are basically there as what many people believe to be the way in which they are erasing the past to fit this new end of history kind of narrative of we are the apex, the peak of civilization. Hello. Yeah. It is. Welcome back, Hobbit. And so basically, it's that, and we're going to look at some of the rather. I mean, if you've watched, and I'll shout at this guy's YouTube is if you've ever watched My Lunch Breaks channel on YouTube or on Rumble, and there's many other people as well. There's another guy, he's very good as well. They talk about basically the fire narratives and the building time strain constrictions, and this especially in America. So what would happen normally would be you would have a building, it burned down. They'd say a building burned down, this Romanesque looking kind of old world building that was normally made of stone, would burn down, and then they'd rebuild it within a very short amount of time. And what many people think is actually that was all bollocks, basically, or in some regards, that building was always there, and they've just said it was burnt down and they had to rebuild it in this really minuscule amount of time. Like, we're talking a year in some, at least. Sorry. So so do we want to go into examples? Yeah. Where do we start, Hemming? Where do you want us to start?
Wherever. Hold on, am I still muted? No, you should. Hobbit said you were echoing. I think I've stopped it now, Hobbit.
Yeah, you have.
Echo.
Yeah. I don't know what that was.
Well, I think it was the echo, you're having last week.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about.
I think I've sorted it, because basically what happened was Voice Meter decided to just shit the bed and just wipe all of my settings.
Can I just say, every single show we do, Voice Meter always fucks up. This is a piece of shit fucking software. I do streamers, and I don't put way as much effort into it as you do, and all I do use is just OBS.
Yeah.
And way back when we used to have friends in the Rhythm Bot and things like that, I would have the voice call, and then I'd route their sounds through, and they'd just be desktop audio as well, and it was simple and it works, and the only problem I had, which was back when we had a functioning society, was skippy tits.
Yeah.
But that was the worst of my issues. And now we can't get anything fucking working because the Great Fire of IT, which just happens to represent one of those, like, well, it's like when they set fire to like a massive pile of cow dung in certain parts of Calcutta. That's the problem we got now with the Great
Hobbit.
Fire.
That's what I have to work with.
Yeah, so I'm
So you can
I'm
understand
not
that I get
fond
things
of
wrong occasionally.
I'm not fond of this modern technology, you see, because it doesn't work as well as stuff we had from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I will just sort of take a brief moment to say, like, we had voice calls like 20 years ago with TeamSpeak or Skype, and now we've got like Discord and Microsoft Teams and all this other bullshit, and it's all the fucking same. But for some reason, those programs which like ran on a few hundred megabytes at most, and that was seen as bloated. Now they're taking like multiple fucking gigabytes when nobody can buy any RAM, and I fucking hate it all. It's like we've come so far, but we've not, like, the computers we got now aren't any faster than ones from 20 years ago because the software is so fucking bloated.
Yeah.
God, I even remember my late uncle.
Well, it's like
and he was talking back
Windows,
in,
Windows and RAM, isn't it?
well, I remember like my
The more
late
RAM
uncle,
you,
and
the
this was,
more RAM you buy, the more RAM Windows uses, doesn't it?
it's like cars as well. I mean, the cars these days, they're far more powerful than the ones from the 60s and 70s. Not that you'd notice it, because they're so fucking obese and massive. You need the extra power just to make them go.
Mm.
Everything about the modern world is just inefficient and shit and crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got all this extra power, but we can't utilize any of it because it's all just like got fucking shit. The code that all these programs are written in resembles a designated shitting street in Bombay. I can understand why we got like these fires all around the world, because occasionally just God looks at it and it's just like, look, I'm using a flood to clear all this shit out. And hopefully, Noah, you'll be able to start again. Just like, don't. Oh God, you've already bred Hindus again. Well done. What is that? The descendants of Shem or Ham? Well, I don't know.
Well, no, Ham. No.
And look at them.
Sham.
I've got these beautiful virgin like rivers. Like now the waters have receded from the lands, and then they're busy like taking dumps in it, putting corpses in it, and then going like, "Oh, I'll make it pretty by putting plastic and flowers in it." And then they come to the Thames and they do exactly the same thing. If I was God, I'd be like, "Look, I know I made a covenant not to flood again, but you're seriously fucking tempting me." Seriously. And I think most people just be like, you know what, God, just have at it. Do another flood. We deserve it. Fucking
fire,
flood
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
We've strayed too far. We've strayed too far.
Look, I think at the point now, even those that aren't as sinful as the others, they'll just be like, look, God, if we die in the backlash, it's understandable. At least you'll know your own. And I think God would admit that himself.
Well, it's not our job to sort them out. It's God's, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is, it's like, look, if I die in a global cataclysm, I'll be there with my Father in heaven, and it'll be fine. And it'll just be like, you know what, God, I understand. So, sometimes you need to just flood the earth. You need to cleanse it in fire and flame and the sword. Just, it needs to all be cleansed. You need to look at these ancient Scottish ruins in the Highlands, and you need to vitrify stone. Occasionally, that just needs to happen because of dragons. By the way, right, I'll just look. Fraser's got to do his thing about the great cataclysmic fires that happened in the 19th century and earlier.
Yeah.
And I will talk a bit about that. But thousands of years ago, there's these forts in the Scottish Highlands.
Thousands. Oh, this Scotland.
Yeah. Thousands of years ago. Okay, so it wasn't called Scotland, but the place we call Scotland now, which was just known as Pictland or whatever it was called, Hibernia or something. It doesn't fucking matter. Thousands of years ago, there were forts there, and there were fires in these forts so intensely hot that the stone is vitrified. Now, I've done blacksmithing. I've done a lot of fires, and in my stove itself, which has got coals in there, it's surrounded with these stones, and you put stones around the stove to protect the steel. Now,
Yeah.
I happen to know from like blacksmith fires, which let's face it, blacksmith fires are so hot they'll melt steel. That's how hot a blacksmith fire is.
Yeah.
And even in those blacksmith fires, you don't go like when you're cleaning all the coke and the ashes out afterwards and the clinker. You don't go, oh, that stone's vitrified from that fire. No, it's still there. It's still normal stone. So to have a fire so hot that stone has melted and turned into glass is really fucking hot. I mean, I'm talking about burning plasma hot. That's how hot it is. It's to the point where, well, look, a geologist will tell you, these stones they melt at like 3,000 degrees plus. So
what's the temperature to turn sand into glass? And that's like little tiny, tiny bits, isn't it?
So point, and the thing is, you lower the temperature of the sand by using quicklime, or is it soda or something? It's like there's 3 ingredients. Sand is one of the ingredients. Yeah, it's, and borax I think is used as well, and you use them as a catalyst to reduce the melting point. But the fact is, the idea
so it takes 1700 degrees C to make glass, and glass is like exactly the right material and little tiny bits. So therefore, like whatever it is to melt like a big old rock is like way more, isn't it?
But the silica in sand, you have to get much hotter, and probably 3,000 degrees to melt it if you don't use the catalyst to reduce the melting point. So the fact is, a stone fortress, I'm saying thousands of years ago, we might call them castles now, but these were forts. A stone fortress, is not a glass blower's kiln. It's a fort. And the idea that, it's because some siege ladders or maybe a siege tower caught fire and, it singed the stones. Fuck off, mate. No, a siege tower is not going to get the stones hot enough to melt. So my only conclusion is, and I'm going to do the Sherlock Holmes thing here, whatever explanation you've got, if you've ruled out everything else, whatever's left, no matter how improbable, has got to be the explanation. And until somebody else can say, oh well, actually, it was like Star Wars people with plasma rifles in the 40-watt range. If it wasn't Star Wars people with Star Wars names using,
but Star Wars people use AK-47s. Everybody knows this, I bet.
Well, actually, you know what? I've got some. Fraser, just indulge me for like a minute or two more. I'll do 2 things right. So I suspect the reason these stones were vitrifying is because of dragons, because dragon's breath has got to be hot, right? I mean, all the stories talk about how hot a dragon's fiery breath is.
Very.
So I reckon it was dragon's breath. Now, however, I did sort of dismiss the idea of, it's ridiculous to thousands of years ago in the Celtic Highlands, there were like plasma rifles and stuff. However,
would they be in the 40-watt range, or would they have to be a bit hotter than that?
Have you ever heard like some of the fantastic stories of Lugh and the Tuatha De Danann and stuff like that? So there was this god, right, called
even look at, isn't the Ark of the Covenant supposed to be like a big laser or something?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, it's probably the elephant's foot wrapped in a lead coffin.
Yeah.
Because like anybody that like looks at it like dies from like radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
They're just shitting blood out from their eyes and their anus. So now Dagda, he was one of the Tuatha De Danann, and he had this cauldron, and you dip your ladle into it, and any food that you want in any quantity you want, you can pull out of it. So he had a replicator, and Lugh, the warrior Lugh, he had a shield, and his shield wasn't, just hiding.
So which historical background are they from? Just in case.
Celtic mythology.
Right.
So Lugh had a shield which said would glow like the sun and would repel any blow. So he's got himself a proper Star Wars shield.
Force shield, yeah.
And
Force shield, yeah.
He had a spear, and the spear would shoot bolts of straight lightning in vast arcs. I'm like, so he had a laser gun. He had a laser gun and a Star Wars shield. And we got these Scottish fortresses from back then, which they've got the stones have melted, which would in order to we're talking about we can melt stone today, but you use something called a plasma torch. So yeah,
Doesn't all this stuff make you think that maybe God was an astronaut?
Well, all I'm saying is that in the galaxy a long way away,
a galaxy far, far away, a galaxy
plasma rifles
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, which happens to be Scotland 3,000 years ago. Yeah, people are melting stone walls with. I mean, how the heck? Like again, I'll say it again.
To be fair, going to Scotland is a lot like going to somewhere a long time ago.
The incredible violence needed to melt stone into glass.
I don't know, man. The Scottish, like
Or it could be just that those two lads just drank a lot of Bucky.
Yeah, they drank a lot of Bucky and set fire to their farts, and that melted fucking stone.
Don't know, Bucky farts are pretty powerful.
But Fraser, now we can segue into your bit because it seems
like a lot of the. Thanks.
Well, I was going to say, it seems a lot in these fires that these stone buildings made out of stone are bursting into flames. Now, I happen to know a thing or two about fire, right? As Ian will test. And I have it on pretty good authority because I've tried this numerous times. Stone, unless
Hobbit,
it's cold,
is your visible panty line still on?
Yeah.
What?
Is your visible panty line still on, your VPL? Is it still showing, is it, Hobbit?
No. Look,
it must be a noise. It must be a noise gate or something, Hobbit, because every now and again you cut out.
Oh, that's because I wasn't facing the microphone. I was actually looking at my fire because it's starting to die down.
Ah, okay. Because every now and again, you cut out.
Yeah.
That's like when I was saying about stones don't burst into flames except for coal. Coal does fire, and that is a stone. Well, it's a mineral. But my stones aren't burning very well, so I need to probably open up the air vents.
Yeah. Okay. It's funny. I can hear you talk when you walk miles away, but obviously it disappears when you turn your head for some reason. I don't know.
I have no idea how this microphone works. I've just got it does.
But it does.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Right. After that rude interruption, Fraser.
Oh, well, I mean, it's fine. I mean,
Hey, valuable contribution to the show, which complements Fraser's knowledge.
Yeah, but finally we've got Fraser to do a show, and you talk all over it, Hobbit.
I'm yes-anding everything he says.
Right. Okay. So the Great Fire narratives, so we say, or the Great Fire is a cover story for the old world. Well, either destruction or kind of placing, as I say, the current narrative of Scaligerian timeline on the upon us. So if anyone forgot what the Scaligerian timeline is, it's basically our current. We're in the year of our Lord 2026, when really we're probably somewhere closer to the year, maybe, depending on what you want to believe, is either 1600s or even.
Isn't the calendar supposed to be so fucked up that no one really quite knows what the true year is?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's a Scaligerian thing, isn't
it? Going into the Gregorian character was.
Well, that's it. Russia,
well, wasn't it?
The Russians have a different calendar to us, and they're in a different year to us, and they're like 300 years behind.
To be fair, they are actually 300 years. Well, until recently, they were 300 years behind us, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah. So, basically, so we're going to look at some examples of the fires. I think we'll go with the first one with Washington. Should we do Washington of 1812?
So you want the Great Fire of Washington?
Yeah, so when ye old English or British, shall we say, in the War of 1812. That very special year in the
That
world.
year.
I mean, that year is very special. I'll have you
Yeah.
know. Not only it wasn't actually in 1812. This was 1814, but that time frame, Napoleonic Wars,
Well, it
British,
says here it was like, yeah, but it says in Wikipedia
American
it was
War.
1814.
Yeah. But in 1812, supposedly, we burnt down the White House and the Senate and whatever, the Capitol Hill in 1814. So I will. So have you got this? Have you got that up? Do you want me to read off the accounts?
You can read it. I'm just having a look on Wikipedia.
Right. Okay, so the burning of Washington City, right? Okay. Burning of Washington City occurred on August 24th, 1814, after the British defeated the U.S. Army at the Battle of Bladensburg. Major General Robert Ross occupied Washington City and set fire to only public buildings, and that included the White House and U.S. Capitol, which were largely destroyed. The Great Britain London Okay, that's wrong. That's a thing. Great Britain London Downing Street, September 27th. I have an honour to communicate to your lordship that on the 24th, after defeating the army of the United States that day, the troops under my command entered and took possession of the city of Washington. It was determined between Sir A. Cockram and myself to disembark an army at the village Nendict on the right bank of the was it Pathacolts? With the intention of cooperating with Rear Admiral Cockburn in an attack upon the flotilla. But okay, so it's talking about military stuff. Where's he talking about what he burnt down? No, he didn't. Oh, okay. On the 24th, the troops resumed their march and resumed Bundaberg. Village shared the left bank, the eastern branch of the Potomac. That's it. After 5 miles from Washington, on the opposite side of the river, the army was strongly posted at very commanding heights formed. Okay, she's talking about it. Where is he talking about the fire then? This isn't on the okay. Washington. Okay, so yeah, upon the attack.
So it says here, but it says this was August 24th, 1814. So it says that British soldiers and sailors set fire to multiple public buildings, including Presidential Mansion, United States Capitol, and Washington Navy Yard. Is that the same as you've got?
That's correct. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've just got the actual guys.
So that attack was in part a retaliation for prior American actions in British held Upper Canada, in which US forces had burnt and looted York the previous year, and then burnt large portions of Port Dover.
Yeah.
And this is the weird part. So I don't know whether you've got this bit, but less than 4 days after the attack began, a heavy thunderstorm, possibly a hurricane and a tornado, extinguished the fires and caused further destruction.
I get into. Yeah, that's what I was getting to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, well, I mean.
Wasn't it going back to the other battle in 18? Was it when Napoleon was supposed to have been in Russia in 1812?
Yes.
Wasn't there some weird weather stuff that happened there as well? Wasn't there, if I remember rightly?
Well, there was that account we read that said about the sun like going dark or something, and or it like started melting stone, right?
Yeah.
I think there was that account. That was that weird account from that soldier. I think it was French, wasn't it? He was on the French side. It said like the sun went dark or something, and stone started to like smoke, basically, or like stuff started to burn. Yeah, so there is that. Yeah. The interesting about the Washington thing, obviously, the hurricane and the obviously the tornadoes and everything, that was weird in itself. But again, it's have you got the image of the? If you scroll down, there's a black and white image of the supposed thing that they drew as an artist impression of it. It's the picture of the White House burning. Supposedly, it's like yet again, a Roman-esque looking.
Right, so I've got the fire narrative. Building. I've got the 3-4 story building.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
3-4 story building? No.
Oh, that's the Great Fire of St. John, New Brunswick.
Yeah. We'll
no, I can't find the picture of that.
Right, okay. I'll post it in the thing for you then.
Yeah. And then I'll pop that up for everyone to see.
Yeah, so it is there. Wait. It's that one, right? Yeah. So this is an artist's impression. You know, it's again, photographs were not invented, or were not in wide use by then. But again, like the artists, encapsulated what they, supposedly saw, and again, it is the destruction of these old world kind of Roman-looking buildings, right? The ones we've so commonly known to as been, the whatever you want to call it, Tartaria, whatever, right? Roman-esque kind of. But that's the interesting thing, like this building was destroyed, but yet the White House was then rebuilt within like a year or two.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. So we've got instances like this. We can then go on to the other examples that are in upper thing about the the Great Fire of St. John in New Brunswick in 1877. So I'll read this. You want to put this up? In late 1877, St. John, New Brunswick, was laid waste by a devastating fire. It began about 2:30 on the afternoon of 20th of June, when the spark fell into a bundle of hay in Henry Fairweather's storehouse in York Point Strip area, which in present day is the vicinity of Market Square. It is unknown where the spark originated. It may have come from McLaughlin and Sons boiler shop now, or may have been carried from a nearby sawmill. The month of June had been warm. And the fine weather had little to no rain. Wooden structures predominant in the St. John, and this time were under dry and highly flammable.
Yeah, what's the picture they use in there? Nice stone building.
Yep. When prominent in the St. John, well, this will get to it in a minute.
Yeah.
When the fire was discovered, it was already burning rapidly in large bundles of hay, and aided by the fresh, strong breeze, it rapidly escalated into a major conflagration. Within 2 minutes of the alarm sounding, Engine 3 was dousing the fire, although other engines followed immediately. The fire had already spread by means of heat and sparks to other wooden structures nearby. At times, the fire reached temperatures perhaps so high some buildings exploded into flames
without actual contact with the fire. Yeah. That reminds you about the little building that could during 9/11, doesn't it?
Yeah. certain number 7 building, right? It just fell down. If you started to see a pattern here with certain, certain technologies, again, like 1812, Washington, hurricanes and tornadoes. What happened on the day of that fateful day? There was a hurricane out in the Atlantic, this prompted fearful rumors that the fire was intentionally set. But yeah, so like you get like these examples in the narrative of these miraculous things happening in like certain circumstances. These buildings just spontaneously combusting, where without even contact with fire. I don't know how it happens. Maybe Hobbit can tell us how you can make a building spontaneously combust without being set on fire. Any theories on that? Or is he
microwaves? Has been a 40-watt range.
Right. Okay. So the next
Dragon's
one,
fire.
the
It's dragon's breath, isn't it? It's got to
Yeah.
be dragons.
So the next one, I can't remember what one this is from actually. But we'll read it because it's still indicative of the narratives around these events. So the city residents exhibit a strong sense of community spirit and pride, turned immediately to restore the city. Nearly 7 million in insurance payments and an estimated 1.5 mortgage loans were available to finance. The federal government built a new post office in Crimson House, Prince William Street. Civic and provisional governments were responsible for the city hall, and the police and fire departments, merchants, blind sunny premise were remained in ruins. Most instances of public buildings constructed after the fire were made thick and were made of brick and stone and were subject to new and more stringent fire regulation. Many residential structures will continue to be made of wood. Within a year of fire, 1,300 buildings were constructed, and with hundreds more rebuilt in the next decade as funds became available and the city renewed. So here's the we managed to rebuild it in a very short amount of time. So supposedly they rebuilt this city. I can't remember which one it is. Maybe it'll tell us. What's it say there? What's it say on the side? Can't read the actual sideways text. Anyway, right, here's what I'm trying to get at here. Many residential structures through command made of wood within a year of the fire, right? So they managed to put up 1,300 buildings within 1 year, right? Think about that. These were mostly the stone ones as well. As they tried to tell
be fair,
you,
a lot of people in that city didn't have a bed to go to, so they're probably up all night making houses. I
mean, again, the population of the world at the time of this, I think this one was, again, 1800s maybe. The population of the whole world was less than 20 million.
So to kind of put this into a bit of perspective, like the height of the British Empire, the British population was 11 million.
Yeah.
So if you kind of extrapolate from America, we're supposedly 70 million. We're supposedly 70 million for sake of argument. So that's 1/7. So 1/7 of 350 million. That's
like the world population.
That's 50. That makes the American population 50 million. Is that about right? Something like that.
Let's find out, shall we? So the population of the world in, shall we say, 1800?
I reckon they're lying about the numbers now these days because did you hear that thing with the Chinese defectors saying there's probably 500 million Chinese tops because you don't do a one-child policy when you're like, what was it, 50 million people and then suddenly balloon into 1.4 billion people.
Yeah.
I don't know what the pre-one-child policy demographics are in China.
I don't think the Chinese were having a lot of kids anyway, were they?
But funny enough, China, they're not known for telling the truth.
Yeah.
World 1700. Let's have a look.
You see, with us, I mean, doing a census is like an important thing, and it needs to be as accurate as possible. For them, it's just like, hey, we can brag about our numbers.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about these, roughly. So for context, in 1650, roughly 500 to 500 million people, post-Black Death recovery ongoing in areas. So 500 million. 1750, 750 million. 1800, 1 billion-ish. So, the population of the world, okay, and that's the whole world, by the way. That's not one country, obviously. That's the whole world. But again, the point of the thing is they put up buildings within a year of these disasters, which also yeah, you could say is impossible with the technology. Remember, they had no power tools. They had horse and buggy. They didn't have motorized transport. Again, this was in the Americas, therefore, winters were harsh, more harsh than probably here. So it's like, only 8 months of the year to build 1,300, supposedly out of stone, and that it's again, it's part of the kind of weaving of this thing that then oh look, we've got all these nice stone buildings. How did they get here? Oh, look, we built them in like a year. Yeah, so that's another part of the narrative. Where's the next example I want to go over? Is after it. So most downtown Spokane. That's a nice name, isn't it?
Is it Spokane? Spokane.
Spokane.
I think Spokane, isn't it?
Spokane, yeah.
I think Spokane.
Spokane, yeah.
Is that in Arkansas?
Arkansas.
It might be.
Yeah.
Most of downtown Spokane, then known as Spokane Falls, was destroyed by fire on August 4th, 1889. The conflagration broke out in an area of flimsy wooden structures and quickly spread to engulf it.
Spokane, Maximiliansburg says.
Spokane is okay.
Yeah, I thought it was Spokane.
So substantial stone and brick buildings of the business district. Property losses were huge, and one person died. After the fire, Spokane experienced the Phoenix effect, typical of many cities destroyed by fire. As fine new buildings of revitalized downtown rose from the ashes, accounts of the fire of origin and silent blame. And it's illustrate how historical myths begin to perpetuate. So yeah, so basically, like, they all seem to have this. Oh, all of a sudden we've rebuilt it within a year, a couple of years or less. Amazing. It takes fucking 2 years to build a semi-detached house now. Made out of timber and fucking brick. But these massive, colossal post offices were rebuilt in a year or so, right? What was that? What was this one specifically? And also with these narratives, you find that with these great fires, most of the people that die are maybe one or two. There's very few people that die in these things, even though supposedly it's a fire that engulfs like an entire city. So again, that's another part of these and people would say, well, oh, okay, so what's the point? Why are you going on about these fires? Well, okay, we're gonna go on about how history is fabricated.
It's the dragons.
Yeah.
They're covering up the dragons, Hobbit.
Yeah. They're covering up for the inconsistencies in architectural, like, what was left over from whatever preceded us, whether you want to believe it's some ancient civilization, Tataria, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, right?
Well, there's that really bizarre thing of
George
there's that really bizarre thing of the Roman cement, isn't there? That nobody's been able to recreate, have they?
It's not that though. It's the.
But
it's
Roman
like
cement has been recently uncovered. The trick of salt water. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually read that the other day.
It's only been for the past 2 or 3 years that knowledge has been published.
But isn't it weird that we've had to figure that out? And it wasn't passed down.
Well,
yeah.
The secrets of Greek fire is still a mystery. No one knows how that is. I'm just going to say
German
again.
ovens.
But again, like, it's again, it's like, why did we stop building these great architectural feats?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't see things like the Leaning Tower. The Leaning Tower of Pizza. I watched the thing about the making of that, and they actually built it, wait for it to settle, did the next level, wait for it to settle. It took them like 30 odd. I think it took like 30 years or 50 years or maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
To build it in the end because they just took their time with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, some people
didn't St Paul's Cathedral also take a extraordinary amount of time to build as well.
tell you whatever you want. How would you verify if it did or not? It's just it's the consistency of like, right, okay, so we've got, and this is the other thing, right? We've got these buildings that are made out of marble, stone, like these really grandeur-esque buildings.
Yeah.
And the population, the people who built them, are living in thatched fucking wooden huts in the forest still.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so it's just, again, like, it's not, it's to do with,
It's anachronistic,
again, look at
isn't
Australia's, yes, yeah, it's bizarre that we'd stop building like that just because, it's now cheaper to build these flimsy houses that last 100 years and not these grand buildings that, out of stone that last thousands, hundreds more, maybe. It can last a lot longer because, it's cheaper.
Yeah, and we're also knocking them down, aren't we? Knocking them down to build this shit as well, aren't we?
And this is what we're going to move on to now with the fire thing as well. The fires, you think, the fires, they, okay, shit happens, right? These buildings, they can burn down, supposedly. As the Hobbit said, that, stone melts at certain degrees. Maybe they just had really hot fires back then, right? Maybe they were, But yeah, the fires haven't actually stopped with these old buildings. They're continuing to this day, and this is why people are thinking that it is targeted destruction of like old world stuff, because you couldn't just destroy it all in one go. Just do it bit by bit, right? And that's kind of what's
you'd need an event like a world war or something like that, wouldn't you, to start hiding this stuff?
Well, you would, yeah. If you've ever looked into Dresden and the firebombing of Dresden, you want to get your tinfoil hat on for that one. That was, again, Paris as well. But remember, like, Paris, like, wasn't bombed by the Germans, right? We bombed Paris, and we destroyed most of the buildings in Paris, right? And then Dresden as well. So if you want to, are we the bad guys now? But yeah, it's these old buildings destroyed by fires. It's to be used as cover for the covering up of whatever came before us. Basically, the things that don't make sense.
Like a rewriting of history. Yeah, because that guy.
Yes.
Is it Old World Florida, the channel? He talks about all these newspaper articles that are kind of pre-war, because they never had the chance to do this really in America. So there's stuff that survives, isn't there? So, and he's got these fantastical newspaper articles of these giant. Is it elephants in Florida and like native elephants to Florida and things like that?
Yeah. Well, I haven't actually seen that. I haven't seen that one about the elephants, but
yeah.
Interesting. Well, you have to send me that. I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, so yeah, the fire again. Well, it kind of goes into again Notre Dame. More recently, I know we weren't going to touch on it, but it was briefly Notre Dame.
Well, we've had our own great fires as well, haven't we? The Great Fire of London. Yeah. Even Northampton had a great fire, which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
So the Great Fire in Northampton.
It's had a fire. Yeah.
The Great Fire in Northampton occurred on the 20th of September 1675, so that's decade after London. So this blaze was caused by sparks from an open fire. So how many open fires do you think there were in Northamptonshire before this? Yeah, all of a sudden one day, one particular blaze had sparks from an open fire. Like there were no other fires with open... There were no other open fires that gave sparks off before this.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it started on fire Mary Street near Northampton Castle. The fire devastated the town centre, destroying 700 of 850 buildings, including All Saints Church, in 6 hours.
Mm-hmm. And that's you notice a pattern there. It's always like 3/4 of the city is destroyed.
Yeah.
Like,
Hobbit,
you know,
you're our
it's-
resident fire expert. Do you think you could destroy 700 of 850 buildings in 6 hours?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sounds plausible.
So only 11 people died
Yeah.
and 700 families were made homeless.
Only
Then
700.
yeah.
Were they big families? Were they newlyweds? What were?
Well,
how
700
big
buildings,
families?
700 of 850 buildings were destroyed. So that's one per household.
Yeah.
So local people and
how they did,
businesses. Go on then.
do you know how the firemen did their work in Roman times? Because they didn't have water pumps.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been a fireman in Roman
Didn't
times.
they use dirt? They used dirt, didn't they?
No. What you do is you use siege artillery and you destroy the building before it can burn other buildings.
There
Fire
are
break.
they did that in
You've
America
got your
as well.
your
Yeah, you
palace day and your
Dynamite
augmenters, and you
things,
just be
yeah.
like, right, lads, that bakery's on fire. Throw stones at it until you destroy that building, and you get paid to destroy people's buildings for fun. Well, I say for fun. It's to fight fire. Yes.
Yeah.
Hobbit,
Yes,
you know how
yes,
to work. You know where to find this stuff. What is 25 grand in 1675 worth now?
A lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So yeah, local
Are you
people.
talking about 25
Go on then.
25 grand's worth of silver, 25 grand's worth of gold?
It's 25 grand's worth of cash. Filthy lucre. Local people and businesses raised 25 grand towards rebuilding the town centre, based around the market square. Streets were widened to help. Oh yeah, they love talking about widening the streets, don't they? Do you remember all this? You know, just give it a widening, just give it a regrading.
Yeah, because you see, back in 1625, that's when the automobile was coming out, so they need to regrade the entire of Northamptonshire.
It's like the time they had to regrade, all those hills and shit, didn't they?
Yeah.
'Cause,
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like they had to widen it out, or just set fire to the fucker.
Yeah.
Because isn't that part of like what the excuse for the fire in London? The houses were too close together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's always.
We need to get that bloke from Skeptoid magazine and just say, hey, can you tell us about these fires?
Yeah, can you tell us about all these fires?
Yeah, it is a bit bizarre. Oh yeah, we built on top of each other. And, yeah, there's like plenty of space, but yeah, we decided to build all like houses like.
And here's just one to add to yours, Fraser. Is in 1724, the town's new appearance inspired author and traveller Daniel Defoe he wrote Robinson Crusoe, by the way, to describe Northampton as the handsomest and best built town in all this part of England, finally rebuilt with brick and stone, and the streets made spacious and wide.
Did it look more Romanesque? Is there a picture?
No, I don't think so.
Or illustration? No, okay.
And also, if you'd like to know, the fire received fictional treatment in the second book of Northampton native Alan Moore's 2016 novel Jerusalem.
Well, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
No, he's from Northampton. He's used Northampton a couple of times. The old train station is in one of his books as well. But I can't remember which one.
I like how in Peter Hamilton's. There's a science fiction author called Peter Hamilton, in his earlier works, Rutland, and Rutland Water features prominently, and Peterborough as well.
Yeah.
But in later books, he's just like, I can't really work Rutland into this new place on the other side of the galaxy.
Well, I mean, Rutland, obviously, the fires destroyed the Romanesque, build, and then they sunk it, and then the fish were found on top of it. The dinosaurs. Right? That's what happened.
The dinosaurs died after the Romans in Rutland.
Was it called Debussy who did a song about the sunken cathedral? And it was about when he was working in Rutland Water. Like he composed a song about the cathedral that was sunk into the water.
Oh, was it? Yeah, because they had to submerge a town, didn't they, to make the reservoir?
I'm sure Claude Debussy, he came to England, and I want to say it's Rutland, because I can't think where else it would have been where the village was sunk along with the cathedral.
Isn't there supposed to be one off the coast of the coast of Cornwall, isn't there? Because they talk about the bells tolling. It's somewhere near the Isles of Scilly.
You're not because look, it's not St Michael's Mount, because that's not drowned.
Let's have a look. You put in sunken town, Cornwall, Cornwall coastal cottages. No, I'm not interested in your fucking adverts. Here we go. Oh, there's a place called Lioness, the lost land of Cornwall's imagination. So the legend of Lioness is a lost kingdom beneath the waves off the coast of Cornwall. Remains one of Britain's most captivating myths. Said to have been submerged in a great flood, Lioness is often described as a once prosperous land filled with 140 churches, villages and lush landscapes. The land supposedly stretched between Land's End and the Isles of Scilly, and its tragic disappearances inspired centuries of storytelling from medieval Arthurian romances to Victorian novels, modern folklore and even speculative archaeology. While its reality remains a mystery, Lioness stands as a testament to the enduring power of myth to shape culture and identity.
Oh, was that was that that Atlantis place? They thought it was Atlantis, like off the coast there.
It seems more Arthurian than anything else from what it says.
Well, yeah, King Arthur's a very interesting subject as well, actually. Where he fits on the timeline, shall we say?
All over it, doesn't he?
Whether he's before or after the Romans, it's a bit... Or whether, which side he was on. So that was what that's the basic thing. The basic narrative is if you look anywhere, there's been a city that's destroyed it and then miraculously been rebuilt within a few years, right? And I guess what I'm trying to say is, did that actually happen? Was that actually happened, or is that just the cover story for the old world? Is that just so they can say, oh, that's how we got these Romanesque buildings? That's or in the cases of America, that's how they justify the how they built something within a year, right? Well, anywhere really, yeah. So yeah, that's basically what was my point about the said things. Do you want to move on to the arson things, or are we
just general arson? We can talk about. Are you done with your dragons, Hobbit? Hobbit, are you there, Hobbit? We need to do a seance for fucking Hobbit now.
I know, right?
Funny.
So
there you go. I've just put up a map of Lioness. If anybody wants to have a look, so that's where Lioness is supposed to be. Oh, Graham Hancock is all over it. What do you think to Graham Hancock? Some people think he's a bit of a fraud, don't they?
I'm not sure.
There's a nice picture of Graham Hancock and Keanu Reeves. I don't know why Graham Hancock and Keanu Reeves are big mates.
Sheldrake is the far more interesting of the Fortean researchers.
Yeah. Did you know Graham Hancock is big mates with Keanu Reeves?
So I did not know that. No, but Rupert Sheldrake, who's done various experiments on telepathy, and Graham Hancock interviewed him now and then. So I just remember them as contemporaries or another.
Yeah. Doesn't Graham Hancock have a lot to do with that ancient aliens? Is it?
Yeah, I think he's talked about the flood before.
I mean the History Channel TV series.
Yeah. Apparently, that guy was interviewed by Freeman years before the show came on, and he was kind of like feeding him up all the stuff about aliens and stuff. And so a lot of that was created by Freeman. Well, that's what he says.
Yeah.
Oh God, Lioness in the Age of Climate Change. That is some fucking deep cringe, isn't it? Oh no, those fucking King Arthur in his fucking 4-litre Range Rover. If only the Knights of the Round Table hadn't been charging around in 4.5-litre Range Rovers, eh? We'd still have
right.
we'd still have the country of Lioness.
Yeah.
25 grand of cash in the 1600s. I don't know, more like 25 million.
It's probably close to 25 billion when you think how much it would cost to revamp Northampton now.
Yeah. There is a way of working it out, isn't there?
It could
Is actually, I'll just ask AI.
AI. Yeah, just ask Grok. How does it work? Seeing as the internet's dead and you can't find fucking anything on it anymore,
search engines are dead.
Might as well.
Basically, they've invented AI because they know they've fucked up 1270. That's too far.
How long until AI starts advertising shit to you, though? That's the real question.
Fucking hell. That's about 5 million. Fucking hell, money used to go further back then.
5 million?
Just under 6 million. Just under 6 million that's worth now.
Oh, £6 million of damage. Oh, God.
The pound had an average inflation rate of 2.6% a year between 1770 and today, producing a cumulative price increase of 23,574.49. That means today's price.
Yeah, but the problem with that is bollocks, in it, because if you sort of think like back in 1950, my dad, my granddad, he bought his house £2,200.
Yeah,
they're worth 400 grand now, and the car back then was about 200, like a Mini or something was £200.
Yeah,
and that's 1950s money.
Well, a house was like £1 then, weren't it? So I don't think it quite works out like the same, does it? Like in the 1700s, you probably paid like 50 quid for an house or something.
A flat over a chip shop for that amount.
Yeah.
It's the problem because the cost of living is just so fucked. I mean, you can get a TV for like under 100 quid, and you can get it for a £5 if you go to cash converters. There was a 50-inch TV there, and I said to the guy, because I was looking at it, it was really nice. Like, why are you selling that for 40 quid? He says, well, it's not 4K, so no one's interested in it.
Yeah, it's what you can get for it, isn't it? I'll put this up. Fucking have a look at this, will you? It's what 25. The buying power of 25 grand over time, 1770 to 2026. I've just put that up in the stream.
Get you.
Just look at that fucking drop.
Holy shit!
That there is fucking paranormal.
Thanks, Tony Blair.
Just fucking hell! Look at that whack! Look at that whack in just before 1920. Like, you were all right up until about 19. Any time before 1920, you were fine, weren't you? And then look at that, just fucking boom.
1900s, it just falls off a cliff, doesn't it? Yeah.
Then it clawed its way back out until the end of World War II, and then just fucking slammed into the floor again.
I wonder who started a Rothschild bank around that time. Oh wait.
But I'm looking at these numbers, right, and I'm just thinking, God, I'd like to have 25 grand in 1950s money, because it's so. I mean, it's vastly worth more than what it is. I mean, like anything after 1978, it's just like, you're fucked, mate.
I think you really want it probably about 1910. You want like 25 grand in 1910. That's before it really started hitting the floor.
So what we really should do, instead of taking your money and put it in a savings account, you need to time travel back to the 1700s and then like exchange it for like gold and silver there.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Because it's worth more, right?
Well, no, because our money's worthless. Our money's worthless.
That's what I mean. So you take a pound coin, take it back to 1700, and it's worth 25 grand. There we go.
No, a pound coin, you take it back to then, it's worth fuck all. Oh, yeah.
See,
time
travel fixes everything, Henry. There we go.
With our modern currency, because it's just worthless base metal, it's not worth anything. Here's an example, right? Like an ounce coin, when I was buying them, they're about £20 each. You know, the last spot price I saw for there was $97. So I don't know what that's in pounds. So it's probably 90 quid. But the thing is, if you went back in the day, I mean, those ounce coins, they'd have, I don't know how much they've been worth. Well,
wait, when did we swap? When did we swap to fiat currency? When did we swap to that? Because that was around 1900, right?
I'd assume it was probably that big. I'd say the 20s probably. Because we needed something to get out of all the debt, all the war debt, didn't we?
Yeah.
You'd still have like gold and silver-backed currency, and if you look at like what was a minimum wage, if there was a minimum wage, or you just say typical wages somebody would get,
it was
for doing work.
Well, it must have been. It must have been when the Yanks took over, mustn't it?
Well, one of the things I saw with it was like, if you were in the 1950s in America and you're getting your average wage of $1.75 and you're giving it in silver, like pennies, or quarters, whatever they call them, and it's like, well, that equivalent now, what you're earning $1.75 then, is worth $90 an hour now, because that's how much like the US currency's been debased.
Yeah.
So I mean, our currency's been debased a similar amount.
But wasn't it? I think a lot of this stems from like American hegemony, doesn't it? Because before then it was like a Mexican standoff. Nobody could be creating like fake money, because then everyone would. It was like an arms race, wasn't it? And everybody had sort of an equalish stake. The big boys all had an equalish stake in the game, didn't they?
Other people tell me about this. The pound was really solid currency, and it was you $2 to the pound. Sometimes it was more than that, and it was brilliant. You could go over to a country and just be like, look at your funny peasant money. How many pesos I can buy with my pound?
Yeah.
And in 1993, George Soros he tanked the UK currency, and we've never recovered. And the problem with that graph is you can.
And we've never done anything to punish him for it.
That is a vast valuation. Well, no. Well, Keir Starmer would praise him for it, probably.
Yeah.
But, you see, if we were exporting stuff, if we were a country that manufactured and exported goods, having a currency that's not worth much is actually a good thing, because then, other countries trade with you.
Yeah, because there are rumours. When the Germans joined the ERM and it tanked the mark, the Germans were actually quite pleased with that, because then it meant their exports were more competitive then.
Well, exactly, so it worked out for them. Because it was like 3 marks to the pound.
Yeah.
Or was it? No, I think it was something like that. I remember, because I went to Germany before they had the euro, and I remember looking at like the prices of these albums, because I was looking at games and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's 40 marks, and I was like, yeah, that's about 13 quid.
Yeah. Crazy.
Trying to sort of do the conversions in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think like the French and the Belgian currency were sort of tied to one another. So it was like 10 one French franc was worth 10 Belgian francs, and you could buy about 10 francs to the pound. Yeah. So 100 Belgian francs to £1. And funny enough, I remember sort of like the 100 franc coin. You could sort of buy I want to say you could buy a loaf of bread with it. Like if you went to a bakery and you got a decent loaf of bread, that was worth 100 francs.
Yeah.
But it's been so long ago since that happened, I can barely remember it. I can barely remember what the coins looked like.
I remember the 100 peseta coin, because that looked like the pound coin before we had the pound coin, didn't it?
Oh, what with the dual colours? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the 25% coin because
I think before that it was like the original pound coin, the solid colour. That's how I remember it.
Look at these great fires making a mockery of our currency, and you can't even tell what currency's worth anymore because, like, you could rebuild all of Northampton for 25 grand. 25 grand
three
to
quarters. You
rebuild-
could rebuild 3/4 of Northampton for 25 grand.
Three quarters of Northampton for 25 grand a year. You fucking dickheads.
Yeah, 25 grand a year. Be a fucking knobhead and set light to the place.
Oh,
Again, this was another one like Hobbit. You had the circumstances of the fire, didn't you?
well, you know,
A stray spark from an open fire. Is that really?
Yeah, it's always so vague, isn't it?
Yeah, the Great Fire of London was the same, wasn't it? That was a stray spark from a bakery, wasn't it?
Wasn't there that thing about King Alfred burnt the cakes and London Bridge is burning down was based on that?
I don't know. I know Ring of Roses was about the plague, wasn't it? The tissue, we all fall down was like dying of plague.
I'm sure,
the wonderful whimsical songs we used to sing as children.
Yeah.
I'm sure London Bridge is burning down was about King Alfred burning.
What was Frere Jacques again? What was that about?
Oh, that's Father Jack. No,
Brother
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, go to sleep. Yeah. And I don't know what Samolenitina means. But,
It's probably something dark and like.
Let's have a look. See what London Bridge is falling down meaning.
King Alfred burnt the cakes and it burnt the.
It reflects the historical deterioration of London Bridge and the various attempts to repair it.
Oh, okay.
Interpretations suggest it may also symbolise themes of decay and fragility of structures of society.
Gay.
Gay.
So, just the Great Fire of Northampton was 1625. What did you say?
1675. So about a decade after just under a decade after the Fire of London.
And 25 grand to rebuild 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
700 houses.
700 houses.
Yeah. 700 houses and a big church. That's not bad going, is it, for 25 grand?
No.
King Charles donated 1,000 tons of lumber from Salsey Forest. Imagine King Charles.
Wow.
Could you imagine King Charles, the current King Charles, even like donating the steam off his piss for somebody who's in fucking trouble?
No.
He just fucking wouldn't. Have. Sucks to be you, I guess.
Yeah.
Says Prince Charles. Yeah. We got anything else to talk about? Do you want to talk about Derby, Fraser? I found a load of stuff. There's like a load of old buildings in Derby that are getting burnt down. It's in the mix somewhere. I've got to find it. Hold on.
Me loins, yeah.
Yoldy Derby. Where is it? Oh, that's Zach. That's Zach running.
Who?
Here we go. Oh no, that's Lancashire. So it's Lancashire as well. It's also, but this could also be the new British people, isn't it? Couldn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
You know, the same thing that the new British did when they were in Afghanistan, destroying priceless fucking heritage. You remember all that? I remember all, like, literally nobody gave a fuck. The Taliban were just fucking firing off rockets at ancient Buddhist architecture.
Well, they're fucking iconoclasts, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, like, every time the Mohammedans say, "Oh, you should bring back our ancient artifacts," like, why? So you can smash them all up?
Yeah.
No, the rightful place for your artifacts is the British Museum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be like the most fragile religion there is. Like, is anything like, oh no, someone's singing a song, let her fucking shoot it with an AK. To be fair, I did see one when it's in the Middle East somewhere, and a hijabi bird jumps in the back of a taxi, and she's going, "Oh no, you can't play music in here." So he goes to her. Yeah. You see,
I saw that one.
Yeah. Why can't I do that then? Because Muhammad didn't listen to music back in the day. Well, also he didn't drive a car either. Get the fuck out.
You can get a camel.
So, urgent plea for action as Derby's historic buildings are hit by arson attacks. They're just hit by them, Whoops! They just happen.
Yeah.
2 fires in listed buildings in 3 weeks prompts experts to call for more protection for the city's heritage. I know of buildings in Northampton where they've done the same. It's quite a common council.
What buildings are them? What buildings?
I'll tell you. So Melbourne House. Do you know Melbourne House?
Maybe.
It was the midwifery school. So it must be somewhere near like one of the big hospital. And also,
really? What?
Yeah.
In Royal Infirmary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It having previously been a midwifery school to complement the nearby Derbyshire Royal Infirmary. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that place. Yeah.
So
really?
it's somewhere.
That got burnt down,
It's
did
one
it?
of.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Also, the Hippodrome as well. That's whoops a daisy. Oh look, we can demolish it now. It's caught fire.
Ah, well there we go.
Yeah. But Northampton's got its own. The Angel Hotel, like lovely, beautiful old hotel. Yeah. Just fucking whoops a daisy. It's caught fire one too many times. Oh no, we've got to destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any of those in Oxford, I bet.
Well, there was a fire, but the fire of Oxford was due to they said the Civil War. So I've got like a PDF file here, 12 pages long, about the Oxford Fire of 1644 by Stephen Porter. Hello, I'm Stephen Porter. I'm going to write about the fire of 1644.
Again, the same decade, the 1600s. Fire.
Shall I just read the first paragraph, because I think it'll say all that needs to be said, really.
Yeah.
Fire was one of the... No, I have to do it in Stephen Porter's voice, and he's one of the Oxford alumni. Yeah. Fire was one of the many hazards of life in the early modern town. The major causes of accidental fire...
just everybody was walking around on fire, weren't they, back then?
Spontaneous combustion was a big problem back then.
If you weren't on fire, you weren't fashionable. Oh, look at that weirdo over there. He's not on fire.
Well, we know that everybody was on fire back then because of dragons.
Yeah.
The major causes of accidental fires during the period were widespread use of combustible building materials. Yeah, people just building their houses out of napalm barrels.
just soaking their beams with petrol.
Yeah, just like, hey, what's a good binding material for all this stuff? Have you considered pitch? Oh, yeah, that's a good stuff. It's really tacky.
How about some deck cord? Just wrap some deck cord around those beams to hold them together.
Oh, I found this wonderful putty for holding your windows in. What is it? Plastic explosive. Yeah, that's sounds good. Put that in right next to my candelabra. So, especially timber and thatch, with the lack of adequate chimneys, the practice of trades with high fire risk. Oh yeah, there was a big demand for fire jugglers back then, and you couldn't swing a cat in Cornmarket Street for all the people just like spouting fire out of their mouths,
just running around all their clothes on fire.
Actually, to be fair, I mean, Oxford Cornmarket Street today is a bit like that. So it's not much has changed in those 5 centuries.
Except now it comes out your arsehole instead of your mouth.
Yeah. Especially if you've been to Kebab Kid at all.
Oh God! Don't talk to me about Kebab Kid. Was it Kebab Kid where I had the fateful kebab?
Do you know the awful thing is, like, there was this. They recently condemned the Kebab Kid in Cowley Road,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if I told you at the time, but I said, I'd probably give that a miss. The Cowley Road one's just been closed down for numerous hygiene things, and like the guy was busy like fingering his arsehole whilst he was serving Henry. And Henry was just like so drunk, he was just like, yeah, I'll risk it for a biscuit. And I think that's the last time. Have you ever had kebab since then?
I've had kebab since then, but not that particular kebab house.
Yeah,
Once bitten, twice shy there.
It's just flavouring, wasn't it, Henry? It was just flavouring.
Yeah.
You see, to make a truly authentic kebab, you must have.
You look like a good man. I'll make you good kebab. I'll make you best kebab.
Yeah, this kebab very spicy. You will enjoy. Yes. So, in addition, the sheer congestion of buildings in many towns hindered attempts to check the progress.
Oh no! These olden days, and like every building was built right on top of each other, because that's what they did back then.
Yeah.
You know, cheek by jowl.
Yeah, everyone used to have to walk sideways between the buildings because they were so close together.
So Stephen Porter, he's using the term firefighters because he's just like, oh yeah, can we get some men, women, and children in this? We got to have equal opportunities firefighters.
I believe they're people of water, aren't they? Now?
The people persons of firefighting. They were particularly destructive conflagrations in the early 17th century at Bury St Edmunds in 1608, Tiverton 1612, Dorchester 1613, and 1623.
No wonder Oxford burnt if they were coming from Bury St Edmunds.
I mean, Dorchester, in the 1623, it's Dorchester Conflagration 2, Electric Boogaloo, but electric hasn't been invented yet. It's like, we thought we burnt the town down in 1613. They were wrong, dead wrong. Dorchester 1623. This time it's personal. I don't know why it's like some sort of trade for an 80s action flick, but
so it's burn harder, and then the sequel's going to be
burn
Die
hotter.
Die harder.
For his oh my god, it's burning in space.
But Dorchester 2, burn hotter.
Yeah.
Stratford upon Avon in 1614 and 1641. Oh, they had two fires. Winmontham, good old Winmontham. Everyone knows Winmontham. In 1615. Banbury in 1628, and Yeovil in 1640. Yeovil. I had my friend, and he used to live in Yeovil, and he said it all sounded like a dying dog, and I was like, "What do you mean?" He says, Yeovil. It's like, yes, well, friend of Hobbit, when you say it that way, it does sound like a dying dog. Yeovil. Where are you from? Yeovil.
Let me guess. They were all started with a stray spark from a fire. Am I correct in guessing that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you see, when you're building, maybe that's what the secret of Greek fire was. It was just like, hey, let's use plastic explosive for window putties and pitch blend for sealing out the gaps in the woods. And
make sure you soak your timbers in gasoline.
Look, the Persian Navy just built their ships out of fucking, coal and shit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Petrified
the Navy, they were sort of like going, oh, we had a great fire in our capital. And so we've looked at all the timbers used for that, and we decided that's the ideal material for shipbuilding.
So were they literally saying that there weren't any fires until there was this one fire that burnt down the whole? Because surely, like, any fire could have done this. Like, so there was zero fires until there was this one fire.
Yeah.
They're saying, there was basically a push in the 16th century, saying, like, look, if you haven't got like slate or tiled roofs, then it's time you do that, because these thatch roofs. So basically, people were flicking fag ends all around. Now, YouTube, when I say fag ends, I'm talking about what you could call a cigarette butt.
Oh no!
So
you
anyway,
said butts, I bet.
These homosexuals were just. well, these homosexuals are just flicking errant fag ends around in the 15th century Oxford into just, thatched roofs 2 stories up, and they're just instantly engulfed in flames.
There was those safety warnings on the local board, notice board, weren't there? Always make sure to throw your coals on the roof.
Yeah. So.
I love the way the modern view of ancient history is that just everybody was retarded. Like that's just the view of ancient history.
But to be fair, though, there were these kind of stipulations. It's like, well, maybe they were doing things which were a bit idiotic, because, like, in 1528, they had this stipulation saying that if you're making a chimney of flue, it should be made out of earth or other matter. And so I suppose somebody saw other matter and it's like, well, what if I make it out of straw that I've soaked in pitch blend? What if I make the chimney out of brimstone and tar? Will that do?
That'll be fine.
It's like, well, it does say here, earth and other matter. So, I mean, that counts as other matter. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Does that mean literally build it out of anything? If it's earth and other matter, it just means just build it.
So the Common Council's Acts and Ordinance issued in 1582 says that chimneys, they should be swept at least 4 times every year. So, they're doing it 3 times more a year than I am. But also the chimneys and flue should be made of earth or other matter. Right. So
but your house isn't made of deck cord and pitch blenders.
No, but my floorboards are made out of wood. I've got a coal fire and the chimney's not. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this, but just to say that I live in a very old house, and it's I got to say it's a miracle, right? When people have got like water and electricity and gas in the houses, we don't have more house fires.
Yeah, like house fires are pretty much a thing of the past now, aren't they? Like most firemen just sit in the fucking office twiddling their thumbs. That's why they're trying to get rid of loads, because we don't fucking need them.
Well, unless you got like one of your neighbours and you're living in a flat and the neighbour decides, you know what, I'm going to have a barbecue inside my living room, and I'm just going to have a bunch of like charcoal on the floor, which is made out of plastic and wood, to cook my goat. Oh, why is the entire tower burned down? Oh, I don't know.
Well,
maybe don't have a barbecue inside your fucking flat, dickhead.
Yeah.
But what I mean, like, I'm being unfair to the people that are doing that, though. I mean, if you've just swept them off of the Serengeti when they're living in the mud hut, and they do their barbecues inside the mud hut, I mean, the mud never catches on fire. So why should they understand, like, the floor's made out of flammable materials that you can't have a barbecue on?
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Surely the peak for fires would have been like the 1970s, when everything was made of nylon and people didn't give a shit about falling asleep in the chair with a fag on, did they?
Well, that, and everybody was also, they all had their chip pans, just loaded up with like diesel and beef fat.
Giving it a good old shake around while it's on the stove, on a red hot stove.
And you come back and it's like, I'll sod going to the chippies to get some chips. That's too expensive.
I'm just going to set fire to the house to roast my potatoes.
I've had a reasonable 18 pints of bitter at the local. I'm just going to do my own fucking chips at home on the gas stove when I'm cooking it in lard, and I've fallen asleep, and I'm wearing polyester shirts and a nylon jumper, and I got a fag on the go, and it's burning a hole into the sofa.
To be fair, literally all you had to do to start a house fire was like a gas leak plus nylon jumper.
Yeah, wow. We had a lot of spontaneous combustion, but that seems to have fallen by the wayside too.
Since we stopped wearing nylon, it's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I'm wearing polyester
maybe spontaneous maybe spontaneous combustion is just all of the nylon we wore along the way.
Yeah. I mean, I say that, but I'm a touch wood, but I am wearing polyester at the moment. But this hoodie is very insulating, so I really like it.
Be right back.
What, nylon?
And it's like,
hoodie?
yeah, yes, I understand microplastics goes into your testicles and they'll make you infertile, but I think that ship sailed for me.
Mm,
I'm not too worried about my testicular microplastic dose.
yeah. Right then. Any more for any more? We can do some unexplained histories.
Artemis 3, that's going to launch next month. Free Eye Atlas. It's
That's really
definitely
real,
not
isn't
a
it? Artemis 3 is really, really
well,
real.
Well, I mean, I got a feeling like, oh, I can't say it. No, that's just going to sound silly. But no, they've scheduled Artemis 3 to launch like years in advance, so it's definitely not coinciding with Free Eye Atlas. But I do find it interesting how the CIA apparently have classified a load of information about Free Eye Atlas, because if it's just a comet, I mean, nobody's classified a comet before. So, well, when I say classified, they've classified it in terms of they've given it a name and they plotted its course. But the CIA has never gone and it's like, nothing to see here, folks. There's definitely no cocaine on Free Eye Atlas. Move along, please.
Wormholes are really, really real. Apparently, they're not this week.
Oh, well, they've changed their mind, have they?
Yeah, they don't exist now. The Rosen, is it the Rosen Bridge? The Einstein Rosen Bridge, is it they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, what they were addressing was never about space travel. It was about how quantum fields behave in curved space time.
Yeah. Well, it's a load
Yeah.
of bollocks anyway. Because the thing is, it's like they don't know what they're talking about. They've never observed it, and the stipulation.
Yeah, but it's
with
quantum
the wormhole
though,
is
Hobbit. So it's science. It's quantum.
Well, the thing about a wormhole is they say in order to keep it open, you'd have to use negative energy to counteract the collapsing force. It's just like you don't know until you've actually done it. It's like those people stipulating that, oh, you can't possibly go 30 miles an hour in the train because you'll be so fast that the air will be whipped out your lungs and you won't be able to breathe.
I thought it was they said if you went over 35 miles an hour in a car, your body would liquefy or something. Isn't that what they used to say?
Well, I remember with it was trains and cars, like you can't go too fast and because you won't be able to breathe. It's like you do realise people and horses get to 40 miles an hour.
And cheetahs run at 60.
Yeah. No, it's just people don't know what they're talking about. And the other thing is, have you noticed like people talk with such authority about things they know nothing about?
Oh yeah,
Hey.
like just
the irony. The irony is, we do a show every Thursday night at 7 p.m. where we talk with great authority about stuff we know nothing about.
Fucking watch it. One of our critics will fucking clip that, won't they?
It's not as if any critics listen this far into a fucking show.
Yeah, but at least we don't wear lab coats and pretend we know what we're talking about.
Well, speaking of which, what's new in shark science this week?
So cremation this week, cremations. Did you know we was Kangs invented cremation probably? Jessica C.
Right.
Thompson, Elizabeth Sawchuk, and Jessica Cerezo Roman.
Yes, because you see, long before vulcanized rubber, they were doing necklacing over there, and that's how you cremate a body.
So blah blah blah. So nearly 10,000 years ago, at the base of a mountain in Africa, people's shadows stretch up the. We don't. How do we know their shadows stretch up the wall? Shut up. They're lit by a ferocious fire. This is. Oh, so right. So these three ladies they're a team of bioarchaeologists, archaeologists, and forensic anthropologists. Are any of those real sciences?
Yes, because they've got a degree from Totally Legit University.
You got an ist. You got an ist. Do you remember the old BT adverts?
Oh,
you've got an ology. Yeah, they've got ologies of it. Oh, you got an ology. You're a scientist. Oh, boy, vey. With our colleagues recently discovered the earliest evidence of cremation, the transformation of a body from flesh to burned bone fragments. Did you know, just in case you didn't know what a cremation was, Hobbit,
Wow,
were you ever a bit wobbly on what a cremation was?
I'm sure glad Kemi Badenoch from Nairobi University is there to educate me, because I'm just an ignorant bigot.
So, in Africa, and the earliest example of an adult pyre cremation in the world. These are awfully specific naming conventions, aren't they? Earliest example of an adult pyre cremation in the world. You know, like when they invent these silly awards to give to people, and they're just like weirdly, strangely specific. It's no easy task to produce, create, and maintain an open fire strong enough to completely burn a human body. While the earliest cremation, well, I don't know, there's a certain political period in Germany that would beg to differ on that one. While the earliest cremation in the world dates to about 40,000 years ago in Australia, that body was not fully burned. It's far more effective to use a pyre, an intentionally built structure of combustible fuel. Pyres appear in the archaeological record about 11,500 years ago, with the earliest known example containing a cremated child under a house floor in Alaska.
Do you remember the foot and mouth epidemic? And they were burning all those cows and sheep.
Yeah.
And they were doing it. They were building these funeral pyres out of tyres and napalm to burn the corpses, because there wasn't enough cremation facilities to deal with it all. And
well, doesn't the fat from the bodies do it? Because there's that thing in
right.
The thing called wicking.
What you've just said,
isn't there?
What you've just said leads into my next bit.
Yeah.
Right? My dad was like saying, "Oh, those Germans should declassify how they made those ovens back in the 1940s, because that would be far more efficient than the way they're trying to burn them now." And I just sort of looked at him and was just like, "Dad,
that was very anti-Semitic.
That was a Disney film. That's not real."
I hope you pulled him up on his anti-Semitism.
Magic ovens, which just like magically burn stuff without using any fuel. It's not. Oh no. And that was the other thing. He says, it works on the fat in people's bodies. Like, people's bodies are wet. I mean, if you go to a cremation place, they're like, yeah, it takes us about 8 to 10 hours to burn a corpse. And that's when they're desiccated, because, you know, they've been dead for a while.
Well, there is the thing, they've actually recreated it in human combustion. It's called wicking, where basically the circumstances occur where, like, the fat in the human body is actually like fuel in the fire.
Yeah. Do you know, I still, whilst I've been talking to you, I've been looking at this inflation stuff, and it's like, 1675, 25 grand is worth about £2 to £3 million today.
I got just under six.
So there was 850 houses in Northampton at that time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably doing a different calculation than you are, but
yeah.
That rebuilt. Now, Northampton, 850 houses, and it had All Saints Church, which was called All Hallows back then.
Yeah.
So two things happened, right? Or three things.
Hold on a minute. That name change is weird, isn't it? Because Halloween is All Hallows Eve, isn't it? All Hallows. Yeah, oh, sorry.
All Hallows. Yeah,
I've said it.
All Hallows and All Saints. You know, you're hallowing all the saints. Yeah. So I can understand that change doesn't make sense to me. So the thing is, the ecclesiarchy, they funded the restoration of the church, so that was separate to the other funds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
King Charles donated 1,000 tons of timber for reconstruction, and he lowered taxes for the next 7 years. So it's probably not factored in the fact that people, instead of spending the money on taxes, are spending it on reconstruction efforts. And they also fundraised £25,000, which is equivalent to anywhere from £2 to £3 million in today's money. But the other thing which makes it really hard is, like, here's an example.
So would that have been dished out in materials for people to build their own houses back?
Well, I mean, it would pay for people's labour as well, and it would probably pay for, like, joists and other things which you can't just have donated, because you'd have to pay the blacksmith to build, like, joists and nails and stuff. You couldn't just, like, you know, recover them all from the burnt down buildings. But this is where, like, inflation and demand makes a mockery of, because like things which are valuable today weren't valuable back then, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So my granddad in 1955, he bought his first house for £2,200, which, according to the Bank of England's calculator, that's worth £70,000 in today's money, which is incredible. Because last time I did the calculation, it was worth 50 grand. So the money is already devalued by £20,000.
Well, the first house I lived in when
ago.
I was a kid, I think Dad paid. Was it? It was either 2 or 4 grand, and it's worth like 220 easily now.
But this was a 3-bedroom, semi-detached house, and it was sort of modernish, like 1930s construction. But the fact is, that house doesn't exist today because it got knocked down. But the houses around it, which are exactly the same as it, they're worth on the market now £400,000.
Has it been knocked down because of their murders you did there, Hobbit?
Yes. But back in the early 80s, like a couple of years before I was born,
Hobbit was burying kids under the patio, and that's why the house had to be knocked down.
It's literally the most perfect murder, right? Right. So basically, before I was born, I committed a bunch of murders as Fred and Rosemary West. They got the blame for it. Then I was born and I got away with it scot-free, and that's why the house got knocked down. But houses in that neighbourhood are now worth 400 grand.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they're not worth 400 grand, but that's what the market's willing to pay for them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's houses in Jericho, which, I mean, even back in the early 2000s were £300,000. So that's probably worth, what, 600 grand now? But £700,000?
I think you probably.
And they're the shittest.
Now, yeah.
Well, they're these really shit terraced houses. And Jericho, for those not familiar with, was the railway workers' quarter of Oxford. And these buildings, when I say they're shit, my mate who did labouring there, he was knocking a wall down in this house. And he literally, he knocked this wall down, and there was this sound of a woman next door going, "Oh," because she was in the bath, and he knocked some bricks into a bathroom. There wasn't even a double skin between the two houses. It was literally a single screen big building. And of course, it's like, "Oh, sorry, I'll put that brick back now. I've just been told to knock this wall down. I didn't realise it's actually a single skin construction." And that's it. So the Jericho's literal, I'm not saying it's slums because it has been gentrified, but the actual buildings, the houses people live in, they are a slum ghetto built houses, and they're worth 700 grand now easily.
Were they one of those? They were built by the railway company at the time, then, were they?
But it was literally, it was built to house the railway workers.
Yeah, because you also had. I mean, that's another thing. That companies used to build towns and villages. Bourneville's a classic example of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
The companies used to build the villages for people to live around. That was when you used to have a job for life.
Here we go, right? So this is one. I'm semi-detached. It's 2-bedroom, freehold. It's price in 2025. So the price in 2021, £450,000. It's on the market now as of the 27th of June 2025, £672,000. Sorry, 672,500.
Yeah.
Fuck me. And it's a 2-bedroom shithole. I mean, look, for people not familiar with Jericho, it was a slum and it still is a slum. It's a fucking shithole.
It's just people think
but it's just because it's Oxford University Presses there, you see, and so all the intelligentsia moved in, and they turned the fucking rough as shit pub there into a quite swanky place. I mean, opposite opposite UP, there was this really nice pub, which was a sort of it looked like a Greek temple called Freud's, and that was a beautiful building. But I think that's been closed for a few years now. But Jericho itself was just a fucking slum, and I guess there was a few enterprising people from OUP was just like, "Oh well, look, instead of commuting in from around, what if I just do up a house in Jericho. Just that way I can cycle to
Well,
work.
there's probably a few people that bought them as buy-to-lets for people at the college as well, who've made a fortune as well, I should imagine.
Yeah, I suppose they did that, but again, I mean, like one of the people I know there, and she's not an Oxford Don. She was a Cambridge Don. She was professor of English literature, and I just and it's like, why do you live here? She's like, oh well, my friends live here, and the Oxford intelligentsia are here as well, and so we get on quite well. And it's just like, oh, yeah, but you're living in literal like
Slum
slums.
housing.
It's like, oh well, we've done them up since then. It's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, because my friend did up one of those houses, but they just, oh my god, 540,000. Oh my god! Do you want to see a picture of this fucking house? It's selling for £500,000. It's actually, this looks like the house. It's not, because it's only a 2-story and she's in a 3-story building.
Yeah.
But this looks identical to the one she lives in. I'll post it when we're talking in here, but right, it's a terraced house, no garden to speak of whatsoever, and it's £500,000.
Fucking hell! It's nearly doubled in. It's nearly doubled in price in 10 years.
And there's no parking there. You've got to have a residence permit, and it's not like, oh well, the space outside your house is where you park. No, it's just like, find a space and put your residence permit there, and hope nobody else like vandalizes your car. Fuck me. Fuck me.
I know somewhere that's built like the Mounts in Northampton is built very similar to that. So let me see if I can find a house in the Mounts.
Yeah.
That's a similar construction. I'll tell you what that would be in Northampton.
I mean, it's like what
Hood Street's around the corner. You could buy that house for $250 if you lived in Northampton.
So because Mbungo Mbungaloo set himself on fire frying some chicken, they invented cremation. Exactly, Big Worm. Everything we've learned, all the music you enjoy, including
everything you invented.
Like you name it, Mozart, Kraftwerk, Rhykuda. If there's a genre of music you like, it's all thanks to Jigaboo Johnson, who was stringing he plucked a string on the stick.
Yeah.
And it's because he invented every genre of music.
Hold on a minute. This doesn't quite make sense. So this is like the first funeral pyres, and they burnt every last bit, yeah. So then they started finding bones, small bone at the base of a foot. Bone was the broken end of a humerus and the upper arm of a person. Human elbow joint burned and fractured. Yeah. Where else? So they found loads of bits of, but they're saying obviously because it's in Africa, it all burnt away. So they found okay then. So this was a small adult, probably a woman, just under 5 foot. They know this from finding no bones whatsoever. Hobbit.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say all these stories about like what the stuff they've invented. It's creative writing exercise, isn't it?
So you listen to this paragraph. So this is from a person who's completely burned away, nothing left. This was a small adult, probably a woman, just under 5 foot in height. In life, she was physically active with a strong upper body, but had evidence of a partially healed bone infection on her arm. Bone development and the beginnings of arthritis suggested she was probably middle-aged when she died. They all found that from ash.
Yeah.
Why is it you read anything from science? Scientists are the biggest liars going, aren't they? Oh shit! Eric von Daniken's died, age 90.
Oh, rest in peace, Eric von Daniken. He was the author of Chariots of the Gods.
That's the one. Oh, how about this one? Man charged with stealing 100 human skeletons in Pennsylvania.
I think I remember hearing.
You know this story, do you?
I know that story, and some of them still decomposing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you may have been stealing them for his jollies then.
Uh, I think I can't remember what the story was because I was sort of falling asleep when I was listening to it. But it was
Yeah.
like I think it was just a case of like, yeah, I wanted a bunch of skeletons in my closet, so I'd get
Yeah.
them.
Ugh. Yeah. So it doesn't give you a great deal of details, but he had a lot of skulls and stuff. They've charged him for 574. So the Conjuring House. I think that's the Devil Made Me Do It one. You ever watched? You never really watched many paranormal reality programs, have you?
Uh,
There was one of the original ones was called Ghost
no, I
Hunters.
haven't.
They were taps. It was something Paranormal Society.
Mm.
They were like the original ones. Like Jason Horsey's trying to buy the Conjuring House, as they call it.
Yeah. I tell you, in the 90s, I probably watched a few documentaries similar to sightings about like UFOs and stuff, and like Richie, I just got fed up with it all because I'm just like, you're never gonna. And that was the other thing as well. Like, I eventually started realizing like all these UFO sightings, they were just like people in trailer parks and other places. I was like, why are they always visiting like the most boring people that have got nothing in their lives? And it's like the people saying, "Oh, my motel, which is really run down and hardly getting any visitors these days. Did you know it's haunted? Oh, suddenly I've got an interest again. You know, people come and visit the place. Like, yeah, well, UFOs came to our trailer park and they did stuff to my buttocks and like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, have you seen they've caught some footage of it's called a phantom jellyfish, and it's a jellyfish. Tentacles can reach up to 10 meters in length, and their body can grow over 3 foot wide. I wonder if it's like scorpions, where like the bigger they are, the less poisonous they are.
Uh, d-
Jellyfish
well,
things.
the man of
Jellyfish things are pretty
the,
bad, aren't they?
yeah, but the man of war is like those things are lethal and it's really
Yeah.
big.
Oh, is it? Oh, is that a big one then? I only said I wonder if it was like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they're all pretty nasty, jellyfish.
Scientists published findings of new hunt for alien technology on 3i Atlas. New observations were made back in December using the 100-meter Green Bank telescope in West Virginia. Did we do this one?
I don't remember.
Researchers with the Breakthrough Listen program recorded the most sensitive radio observations to date, just before the object reached its closest approach to the Earth. There is currently no evidence to suggest that ISOs, interstellar objects, are anything other than natural astrophysical objects. Well, so why aren't they subject to gravitational forces then? Surely they would have been grabbed and thrown into an orbit around something, wouldn't they? So how is it that comets don't get grabbed and thrown into an orbit?
It really depends on their. It depends on their angle of approach and the velocity at the time. So, things like Halley's Comet, that is in an orbit, and that's why it appears every 80 years or so.
Yeah.
I was very, very young when it first came around. My dad said, "Con, let's go and have a look at Halley's Comet." And I was like, I can't be bothered, Dad. So you'll be an old man by the time it comes around again. It's like, when's it going to come round again? 2080. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good, Dad. No, I think it'll come around by 2060 or something.
Yeah.
I was like, I just.
Oh, that's. I was thinking of Hale Bopp. Hale Bopp was the cult,
that's
wasn't it?
1987, wasn't it? That hit Jupiter. Oh no, I'm thinking Shoemaker Levy. That's the one that hit Jupiter.
Halley's Comet, 2061 Hobbit.
Yeah.
2061 Halley's Comet next. What was it? Hale Bopp. Hale Bopp was the one where what was that? What's that cult called? The one with the trainers. That was Hale Bopp, wasn't it?
Yes, that's they said that was going to be their. It was going to be their gateway off of this world.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the. I keep want to say Gateway. It's Gate something, isn't it? Heaven's Gate, is it?
Yeah, Heaven's Gate. By the way, their website's still up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they used to make their money doing web services.
Yeah. What, and they've paid up for an extraordinarily long time, or one of their adepts
No,
is still
so
doing it?
like back in the Web 1.0 era, if you wanted like website hosting, or if you wanted a website designed, like one of the main sort of things there was the Hellbop people, and they'd be like, yeah, we'll build your website. It's kind of like imagine like oh, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Do the Moonies provide us? Well, there we go. Yeah, it's like the Mormons. Imagine you got like the Mormons, right, and they got their their wacko religion where they believe that Jesus is the brother of Lucifer.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, they also like provide all the manpower for the CIA. It's like, oh, and I've been told, and I don't know how true this is because I've never read the script and I'm not going to, but Oh Lordy Dem Rangs of Power, the Lord of the Rings spin-off,
Yeah.
that was written by Mormons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Apparently, Hale Bopp was approximately 6 times the size of Halley's Comet.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
It doesn't say if it's coming back again. I don't know.
What?
Oh, did you say you think it hit the
Halley's Comet's coming back?
No,
Halley's
Hale-Bopp.
Comet? Oh, I don't know about Hale-Bopp. The only one who knows Halley's Comet because my tablet said, "Oh, you'll be an old man by
apparently
time it
the
comes
comet
around."
likely made its previous perihelion approximately 4,200 years ago, roughly the year 2215 BC.
So perihelion's when it's closest to the sun, and aphelion's the furthest away.
Yeah.
Because there's a similar term. It's the apogee. The apogee of an orbit is like the highest the orbit can be. And the only reason I remember that is because did you ever play anything from Apogee Software?
I have heard Apogee before, though. I don't know if it's that, but yeah, I've definitely heard
Well,
of Apogee.
they released Commander Keen, and they didn't release Doom because id Software already split off by them. But Wolfenstein 3 was Apogee Software, and Duke Nukem 3D was another big one. Max Payne was Apogee Software.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was a big one by them. But well, it was released under 3D Realms, which was they said, oh well, that we don't know if this 3D software stuff is going to take off, so we'll make a subsidiary called 3D Realms. And
I'll definitely.
but yeah, no,
yeah.
I remember Apogee because their logo was like this shooting star going over the moon. And I remember asking my uncle, so what does apogee mean? He says, oh, it's the highest point in an orbit. And he says, if you look at that logo, you see like the comets going over the moon. It's like that's the highest point.
Oh, one of the most remarkable discoveries was that the comet had a third type of tail. In addition to the well-known gas and dust tails, Hale-Bopp also exhibited a faint sodium tail, only visible with powerful instruments with dedicated filters. Sodium emission had been previously observed in other comets, but it had not been shown to come from a tail.
That is rare. Yeah, that's unusual. The Free Eye Atlas. So comets have a thing called a tail and an anti-tail. So the tail is directly behind where the solar wind pushes it. So that'd be a tail of gas, and the anti-tail is debris, and the debris goes in an opposite direction. And one of the things they found was a real head scratcher with Free Eye Atlas is how does the tail point towards the sun when the solar wind is pushing? Like with every other comet we know, the tail points away from the sun because the solar wind pushes the gases from the comet away. There's so much about Free Eye Atlas that doesn't make sense. It's an artificial object, but I don't know how many times.
Hale-Bopp's got a weird trajectory. It like slingshots around the sun. I'll chuck it. Actually, I'll chuck it in. We
so
done.
Think about. Well, I'll just unexplained. I'm gonna go on and explain mystery. See if they say anything about um, free atlas. I get unexplained itching all over the body at night. No, unexplained.
I get unexplained.
Unexplained.
Is that from Cyrax? Is it?
Unexplained itching all over the body. Unexplained diarrhea. No other symptoms. Unexplained mysteries.
The old unexplained diarrhea. There you go. I found an animation of Hale-Bop's orbit. If you want to have a quick look.
Do you want Unexplained Mysteries, a US podcast?
Oh no, thanks. As long as your favourite, what's his name? J.K. Randall, T.K. Randall. As long as T.K. Randall don't do it, you'll be happy, won't
you? Yeah.
Did we do the top 10 stories of 2025?
Oh, no.
So number 10, conspiracy theory that suggests that the Titanic didn't actually sink.
Don't know about that.
I think that's the Olympic one, isn't it? I think we've already done. I'll put it in here if you want to have a look.
Yeah.
Secretive US Rat 55 plane spotted landing at Area 1 in Nevada.
I'm back.
Don't know about that. You come back from KFC?
Oh, no. God.
We used to have this host, and he'd be like, "Right, you cover for me on my show now, whilst I go to KFC."
Yeah. Why don't you talk to this men's rights advocate, Emmy? It's like, oh, cheers then.
Whilst I go to KFC and have a wank for 20 minutes.
Earthquake. Sounds like...
I had a sympathy. Fucking doner kebab. Since Hemi said it.
Yeah, you just It's like the stomach cramps are already seizing up.
So earthquake reported near secretive Area 51. I haven't heard any of these stories at all. Newly published archive details CIA's MK Ultra mind program.
But MK Ultra doesn't exist. That's just a conspiracy theory.
Well, you sound like a right conspiracy theorist.
It's a conspiracy theory. It's not true.
My favourite one, do you remember the McMartin preschool where the kids said they were taking down the toilets into secret tunnels and stuff? And then the FBI...
There are no tunnel Jews. That is just a conspiracy theory.
Well, the FBI...
Not real.
So they poo-pooed it all. It was all a load of bollocks. And then the FBI did some sort of dump of information and accidentally left one of the pages from the McMartin preschool thing on with diagrams of the tunnels under the preschool.
Oops.
Jerry Freeman, the man who snuck into Area 51 and lived to tell the tale. Don't know that. Don't remember doing that one. 3 disturbing visits from the real Men in Black. I don't know about that one. US Air Force's Janet fleet planes make unexpected trip to Area 51.
Don't they say like the Men in Black are a category of cryptozoology?
Yeah, because they're weird. They're not quite they're obviously not human. It's weird how obvious they are at not being human.
So are they like a golem?
Something like that. So they look... So they drive cars from the 50s, they wear clothes from the 50s, and they look weird and clammy. Like weird skin and stuff like that.
Skin.
Do you think maybe it's a bit like, you know, Doctor Who's TARDIS has got this comedian circuit and it's broken. That's why it always looks like a 1920s police phone box, which is anachronistic. And... You see, maybe it's like they had a comedian circuit, but they were just like, nah, fuck it. We'll just stay in 1950s mode. It's fine.
Yeah.
This won't raise suspicion at all.
The other thing, they could be time travelers, because then like if you're in the year, say, 3,698,852, and then you're going back to like 1980, you're not going to, like, 30 years between, like, those 30 years isn't going to seem like a big problem to you, is it? Like, so you look for outfits from the 80s, but you're actually looking at outfits from the 50s.
I mean, I just kind of like the idea that they're like, no, the coolest decade is the 1950s, and
it'll be right.
just
It'll be
square.
right. No one will notice.
To be fair, I mean, do you? Well, I'll say we don't have an identifiable culture anymore, do we?
No. Number 2 is, were classes for gifted kids in the 80s and 90s part of a secret CIA program? Oh, if they say one word about indigo children, I fucking hate indigo children.
You don't.
I bet most indigo children are probably called like Philomena or something, aren't they?
India. And Chardonnay.
Or India. India. That's like a fucking hipster middle class name, isn't it?
Oh, I found the top 10 stories, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Which one?
Man records tentacles growing out of an alleged meteorite he found. That's number 8. A man from Panama has been documenting a strange growth that has emerged from alleged space rock. Yes, he's from the Panama. Remote Antarctic base staff send plea for help due to disturbed colleague. It's the thing. Kill it with fire. Oh, do you remember the mysterious spy balloons? And they say, oh, they're too high up for us to shoot them, and we can't shoot them down. The Chinese spy balloons.
Oh God, the spy balloon. Yeah, do you remember the spy balloon panic? That was ace. That was. Back to the thing for 1 second. I was reading a really fucking mind fucking like dissertation on the thing, and the guy was saying that according to him, that he thinks the things didn't even. The things, like, if there's 2 things in the room, one will try and out the other one as a thing to protect itself. That's why you never quite know which one's a thing and which one isn't, because they don't, because they will not work together. It's all about self-preservation.
Yeah. All right. So here's one I missed from last year. Do you know about the black goo creature that was found in the research ship?
I don't know about a research ship, but you see a lot of videos online about the black goo creatures, don't you?
So the strangers began with a research boat known as the Blue Heron, started experiencing mechanical difficulties during a trip to Lake Erie and was dry docked for repairs. While investigating the issue, Captain Rowley discovered a strange thick black tar-like substance that seemed to be oozing out of the rudder. Unable to determine what it was, he sent a sample to University of Minnesota, Duluth. While researchers analysed the substance, they discovered it contained 20 DNA sequences, and while many could be identified, several were completely novel and unknown to science. They concluded that the substance, now known as ShipGoo-1, is a single-celled organism. Its precise nature and origins have remained a mystery. Yeah, it's called ShipGoo-1. The biggest surprise was that ShipGoo had a
They must have
life
been
in
really
it
scratching
at all.
their heads to name that one, wasn't they?
Wait, it had 20 DNA sequences, but it's a single cell organism.
Yeah. Well, amoeba can be like that.
Yeah, I suppose.
The biggest surprise is that the ShipGoo had life in it at all, said researcher Cody Shriek. We thought we'd find nothing, but surprisingly we found DNA and it wasn't too destroyed, nor was the biomass too low. Unsurprisingly, news of the discovery quickly generated a great deal of debate on social media, with many users comparing the goo to that from 90s TV show The X-Files. Do. Yeah. Some also compared it to the substance of Ridley Scott.
So that's where they're dismissing it now. That's the misinformation part, isn't it? So they'll try and cover it over like a cat covering over a poo in a sandbox.
Just nothing to see here. Mysterious.
Nothing to see here. We'll just play the X-Files music, and you so you'll ignore it.
It's kind of strange, even though I've seen far more episodes
Yeah,
of the X-Files than the Twilight Zone. I can only remember.
The
I know
Twilight
that.
Zone tune. Do
I, I,
do 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 do. That's the X-Files one, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to whistle it though. I can't whistle though, so yeah.
I can't whistle. You see, so. Oh, did you know that
That's
the
X-Files
Voynich
tune.
manuscript may actually be a cipher? No, really. The most mysterious script known to man may be a cipher. And in other news, did you know water is wet?
I just couldn't. I think I watched the X-Files up to about series 5, and then it just like really strained my incredulity because like at the end of every season there'd be like this world bending thing that they'd uncover, and then the following first episode they'd go back to working in the X-Files bureau, and not say anything to anybody, and it just got a bit like it was. I can't.
Wasn't there an episode directed by Stephen King, and it was about this autistic girl, and she had this doll, and the doll would speak for her, and like if people mildly inconvenienced her, she'd cause them to have gruesome deaths. And there's like she wanted like a slushie, and the girl says, "Well, if you can't pay for it, then I'm not going to give you one." And then the girl's just like frowning at her, and then the attendant gets her hair caught in the slushy machine, and it pulls her into the slushy machine, and she's like hair getting scalped, and she's drowning in it, and
it was
blood goes into the slushy.
It's an episode called Chinga.
Called Ching Chong. Fuck me, Stephen King's racist. Also, have you noticed he looks like a lesbian nana these days?
Yeah.
Hollywood. Just saying. What? Have we ever done the everyone in Hollywood's transsexual yet? Is that on the cards?
Wow. I don't know. There's definitely something wrong with Todd Willis's wife.
Yeah. All these people in positions of power seem to have really.
You mean Chuck Schumer's wife?
Yeah.
He's Chuck Schumer because he's the guard at the gate.
I wonder what the rate of actors going into Hollywood turn out to be trans. That'd be interesting.
Well, there's definitely something weird LGBTQ related going on in Hollywood, because the second Me Too started straying towards gay actors, that was it. It got fucking shut the fuck straight down, didn't it? I'm convinced there's a gay mafia that runs Hollywood.
The gay mafia, yeah. Probably.
Like all this Me Too shit, and you think the gays aren't getting in on it? It's like, I don't believe you.
Well, yeah, we can't have the statistics for in a good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't have anyone look at the actual statistics,
Well, there's all those rumours about Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, and there's plenty of rumours out there, aren't there?
Yeah. I mean, they're not all Giga Chad like Kevin Spacey and just make people disappear, I guess.
Yeah, wicked. Dead men tell no tales, as as Iron Maiden once sung in a song.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? You gonna testify against me? Oh, look at you, died suddenly. How did that happen?
They were a bit clumsy. So what have we got in here? They were a bit clumsy back then. I assume they're talking about the fires. Even back then, playing with fire was just what you did. Everyone was doing it. Do you reckon Lizzo will spontaneously combust one day? She's lost a load of weight, hasn't she, Lizzo? She's been on the old injection.
Oh, is she? Everyone's on the fucking injection, even the not fat ones,
Yeah. Oh God, have you seen Kelly Osbourne? Jesus Christ. Have you seen Kelly Osbourne, Fraser?
Who was else? Was one of the Stranger Things actresses.
Oh, Jesus. No, that'll give you nightmares for weeks if you see Kelly Osbourne, Fraser.
Was it one of the Stranger Things actresses, the lesbian one? She's been on it or something, because she's really fucking skinny now, like.
Which one do you mean?
Yeah.
The main one, Millie Bobby Brown.
The lesbian. One. No, the lesbian, the one who played that lesbian.
I haven't watched it, so the only person I really know is Millie Bobby Brown. And she's like,
what's her name?
like, isn't she not even 18 yet? And she already looks in her mid-40s.
Yeah, something like that. Like, she's really old looking now. It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
skinny and like raggly skin. It's like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
guess
she
that's
really
the
looks
odd-
like she's in her mid-40s, doesn't
There's
she?
them pick,
Odd.
innit? Yeah.
Yeah. It's also, they have that, is it called buccal fat? Is it like the cheeks? Like like Starlight did to herself.
Oh. Oh
Yeah.
no, don't. She was pretty. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Well, it's just some woman. Like women trust other women, don't they? They go, oh,
Yeah.
oh, you know what you want to do? You want to look like that? You'll look dead pretty. All the boys.
I'm doing this
How are the
thing,
women so gullible and just be like, what? So you mean if I look like a hideous sow that scares everybody, that'll make me more popular? Yes, you should definitely do this horrible bit of mutilation and whip your tits off and to have all your fat removed.
Yeah.
People were saying it's just like, oh, Ariana Grande's starting to look healthy again now that black witch isn't sucking a life force out like a Skeksis. You know the one on the belt?
Yeah. Oh, she started putting weight on again now. They kept her because they kept them two apart for the press tour, didn't they? They wouldn't let them talk because they were just like cringe-inducingly making people stop watching the film.
Just you could see just like literal Skeksis sucking the life out of Ariana Grande, and she's just turning into an emaciated skeleton. But now she's got some colour.
To be fair, Ariana Grande herself has got a fair few corpses in her rearview mirror, hasn't she?
Oh, I don't know about any of that
Ex-boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, little girls, all sorts. Don't forget, she was playing at the Manchester concert, wasn't she?
So someone was saying, and I just got to say, you know, I'm not suicidal, and I don't ride in like aircraft, but nobody just has 56 friends commit suicide all of a sudden.
Well, you know, as Hillary Clinton said, you know, you got enough friends. The more friends you got, the more likely you are that 50% of them have committed suicide, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, just like, but, like 56 friends all committing suicide. I mean, what's going wrong in your life?
Nothing. It's perfectly normal and completely average. What are you talking about?
It's just an unfortunate coincidence, is all.
Yeah, you know, Hillary. It's not Hillary's fault. She just plays the cards she's dealt with. She just has some extremely depressed friends. And colleagues, and people who've walked their dog.
It's a tragedy, really. Just it's like all the great fires, you know, just people that accidentally end up like dying around her. It's such a tragedy.
Yeah. Well, we've given them an extra half hour, so.
There we go. Extra.
That's it. You know, don't say we don't give you anything extra.
Yeah.
You ungrateful bastard.
And all we ask, what is it we ask in return, Hobbit?
So give us a like, or I'll come round your house and I'll I won't set fire to it.
Or me and Hobbit will come and service your Cessna.
Yeah, there's just, you know, it would be a shame if somebody were to replace the putty in your windows with plastic explosive and put tar and pitch blend in your chimneys and refactor your roofs as well whilst we're at it.
Yeah,
relace for your roof.
Relace your shoes with deck cord.
Yeah, just, you know, it's a nice countertop you got there. It would be a shame if somebody were to like redo it with firelighters.
Anyway, good night everybody.
Good night,
Cheerio.
all.
Stay spooky. Even though Cessna issues are common, they're not as common as Hillary Clinton would want you to believe.
Exactly.
Yeah.